Welcome to Real Estate Radio LA. I'm your host, Gil Azcarate, the host of the most popular real estate show in the world in LA. Real Estate Radio LA is dedicated to real estate right here in Los Angeles. I was born in Colombia, but I've been here for 50-something years and mainly living in Los Angeles. So we're going to talk specifically about the craziness of the real estate market and what's going on in Los Angeles. So, first, I am empowered to save the American dream one show at a time, and it is under attack. My DRE number is 01298646. This show is for information and entertainment purposes only and is not intended to give you legal or business advice. But if I was you, I'd listen to me. I listen to me all the time, JJ. All the time. I play back our shows. You're great. And
they're great shows.
They're great. Aren't they great?
Yeah.
I love them. But anyways, if you do miss a show or you want to know a particular topic, you can go to am870theanswer.com and look at our library there. Or you can go to my website, realestateradiola.com. But I have another repeat guest. I wish I had him in studio, but Iman Afshar is my personal lender. Iman, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, bud. So tell me a little bit about, again, you've been on the show a few times. Tell me a little bit about you, because somebody could listen to the show for the first time, don't know a lot about me or a lot about you. Tell us a little bit about your background and your family, and then how you got into loans.
Hey, Gil, thanks again for having me on the show. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure to be here. First of all, our NMLS number is 114183. Iman Afshar with National One Loans. So a little bit about myself. I've been in the industry for almost 20 years now. Started back in 2004, and I've seen the ups and downs. I've been through it all, and currently located in Woodland Hills, where I have an office, a staff, in-house processing team, and licensed in California, Texas, Florida, South Carolina. And yeah, again, we've been through it all, Gil. We've seen it all, and here is just another wave in the market, and we're going through it again. Good
times and bad times, right? So a little shout out for your beautiful wife and your daughter.
Thank you. Yes, they miss you.
They are a wonderful, beautiful family. Not only a patriot, a Christian, and a hard worker. He does my loans. Okay, so if you are listening to this show, and I've got any kind of credibility with you, he does my personal stuff, okay? So he and I brainstorm. We love just going back and forth, and we're trying to figure out what's going on with this market. Iman, what are you seeing? Going up, going down?
Well, depends on you talking real estate or interest rates. Interest rates have obviously been higher, and they're pretty high right now. I don't see a scenario where they're going any lower anytime soon. So we just have to make do with what we have at the moment. In real estate, obviously, you know better than me, that has slowed down somewhat, but great opportunities to get in now and find some good deals on properties.
Right now, we say it's always a great time to make a great investment. It is never a good time to make a bad investment. So interest rates are what they are. So we still have to figure out, when we do find a great deal, right? Are you going to say, yeah, I'll get the next one? It's a great deal. You need to get it now, even if interest rates are high. Remember, I always say, you date the rate, you marry the property. What I'm seeing right now, that things are taking a little bit longer to sell, but let's say there's a buyer out there, and this is what you and I are going to talk about. There's a buyer out there who finds a great property. It's a very, very good deal, but interest rates are high, and he's got to sell his house. That is a big problem. If it's a great deal, the seller is not going to wait for you to okay, you know what, take 90 days, sell your house. The seller is going to go, you know what, I'm ready to sell. And if you can't buy it now, I'm moving on. How can you help me with that?
Yeah, sure. So, we've been talking about a lot of different programs in the past, reverse mortgages, hard money, traditional. So today we have something that can help individuals out who are needing to sell, have found a property, and they would like to make a more attractive offer to. And what we have is a buy before you sell program. So a client comes to me, wants to get approved. We approve him for the purchase of his next home. His down payment, let's say, is locked up in his equity of his current home. What we can do is we can get him up to 80% value of his current property. And let's assume the property is worth $1 million, and he currently has a first mortgage of $500,000. We can get him an additional $300,000 now as like a HELOC, like an approved cash that he can utilize to put down on his next purchase. So he doesn't have to sell his home. He can get that equity out now, put it down on his purchase, sell the property within 90 days after he goes into escrow. So the lender will allow him up to 90 days after he goes into contract to sell his home and pay them back.
And I'm telling you guys, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. If it's a great deal, you need to jump on it, right? What happens is, and I do this, and you and I do this for a living, when you see somebody saying, hey, Gil, I don't want to have 2 homes, and I don't want to be homeless. Or you're trying to get a listing agreement with somebody to list their house, and they're saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to sell my house till I finally find a house that I like. That you can't do that, because now it's contingent on you selling your house, and your seller may not wait. So the idea is take that contingency out so they can buy that property. You're basically giving them a $300,000 bridge loan to buy their property and be able to sell their house casually for top dollar, and you buy and then you sell, because it gets really stressful if you're doing buying, selling, and moving, and kids in school. This is a really, really big deal, right? You've seen how people just, a confused mind does nothing. You are helping them, saying, hey, let's go out and find a house. Once you find it, you talk to Iman, and Iman is going to figure out a way where you can get that money out so you can buy that property and then sell yours.
Correct. I mean, this is a completely solution-oriented process. There's no qualification required for it. You can simply access the equity in your home to utilize it as a down payment on your next purchase. And once you do identify your next purchase and use the funds to put down, the lender will then give you 90 days to sell your previous home so they can get that cash back.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It sort of takes the pressure off of the seller, or the seller buyer, takes the pressure off of us, because when you're trying to do all that paperwork for the purchase, all that paperwork for the sale, all at one time, I see it all the time. People get overwhelmed. So this is a great, great option. What other option do you have out there? Let's say if somebody doesn't use this one, because a lot of people don't use this one. They usually do something more traditional, like a bridge loan or a HELOC. You have those too,
sure.
Right?
This program, it's all about accessing your funds to be able to use it as down payment for a next investment property. And what we have is a true HELOC, home equity line of credit, where you can get instantly qualified. And when I say instantly, within 48 hours, you have an approval. It's completely automated. You will get a link. You can click the link and connect your statements via Plaid into your account. The system does not require you to get an appraisal. There's a soft credit check only, so you do not need to give a hard credit pull. You have access to your funds within 10 days of closing. You have options to do a 2, 3, 4, or 5-year draw period on your line of credit.
Repeat that one more time, because it didn't come out well. You have what?
So you have 2, 3, 4, and 5-year draw options where you can draw your home equity line of credit and pay it back when you wish. You do not pay on funds that you're not using. So if you draw, let's just say $200,000, and you utilize it and you pay it back within a month, you do not pay interest on the balance anymore because you've paid it back. You'll still have access to it going forward, but while you've paid it back, you do not pay any interest on that.
Correct. So it is not a second, because the second you get all the money and you're paying on it right away. This is a line of credit, and we're talking about buying another house. You don't necessarily have to use a HELOC or a home equity line to buy another house, right? You can use it for what?
You may want to use it to build an ADU in the backyard.
A pool, fix up your house, an upgrade, right?
Yep.
If you get a $250,000 line of credit, in other words, and you only use 50, you're only going to pay on the 50, right? But you
Correct.
have access to that money. And you and I talk about this all the time. What aren't people doing? People aren't preparing themselves for equity to drop. Get a home equity line now when you need it, because very few banks are doing it right now. Is that correct? That Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all the big Chase, they don't do home equity lines anymore.
Yeah, a lot of them have stopped doing the line of credits. One important thing about this is you can get this line of credit as a first, as a second, or if it's a primary home, you could even get it as a third lien. It goes up to 85% CLTV, which is 85% of your home value can be accessed. Minimum credit score, 620.
Wow, that's actually really good.
Maximum loan amount, $400,000.
Really, that's actually really, really good. How do they get a hold of you, buddy?
Call me directly, 818-312-1515. Again, 818-312-1515.
Or call me and I will hook you up with him, and you can go to his website. And if you just have some questions and you don't want to do the website thing right away, go ahead and have a conversation with me, have a conversation with Iman. But again, he's my guy, right? Iman, that's where he gets his nickname, Easy Money. That's what I've been calling him ever since I've known him. Iman, I love you, buddy. Thank you for being on the show on such short notice and bringing such value to our listeners.
Appreciate it, Gil.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you again. My pleasure. Have a wonderful day.
Send my love to the family.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There you go, guys. This is a way to bridge get your money. If you want to buy another house, you want to let a family member, buy a house, or you want to fix up your house, get your home equity line now. I'm telling you guys, they will shut that off very soon. If the big banks are not doing it, then all the small banks are going to follow. This is Gil Azcarate. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Gil Azcarate, the Real Estate Dream Team, and your answer to all your real estate questions. Real estate's where you got your money. A lot of people are going to retire on their real estate, or they're not going to be able to retire on their real estate. Real estate is a business. Please treat it as such. Before you sign a contract, please call me. Go to my website. You want to find out what your home is worth? How about flipping your own home? What? What does that mean? Flipping your own home? Fixing up your house to sell it. There's a company out there, and there's a company out there, and I've had them on the show before, where they will lend you the money to fix up your house, to sell it, and they get paid out of escrow, right? And they become the general contractor, and they hire the contractor and fire the contractor. So that takes a lot of pressure off of you to come up with the money, and then you go, oh my God, I got to deal with contractors. I don't know what to do. Okay, so fixing or flipping your own home. That is a unique selling proposition, right? Prepare your house to sell. So right now during the holidays, if it's a slower time of year, get it ready, fix it up. And then we hit the market in January and February. And there's a lot of people doing that. So that is a unique selling proposition. And we've got a bunch of topics again on my website where you can listen to my past shows. Or you can go to am870theanswer.com. That's am870theanswer.com and look at our library. We try to title them so you know what they're about and listen to them when you're in the car. You can download them or listen to them in the house. So I hope that brings a lot of value to you, because there may be a topic that you really want to know about. We've had shows on lease with an option to buy. I still think that's genius. Not a lot of people do it. I don't know why. Lease it for 2 years at today's price and close in 2 years. And there's a lot of moving parts on that. But if you want to know about lease with an option to buy, I've got a show specifically dedicated to that. You can call me. I can even text you or email you that show if you can't find it. But if you're interested in doing something a little bit different, you can do that. We've got a lot of shows. We did last week we did an FHA assumable. A lot of moving parts. So a lot of people want to listen to the show first and have your questions ready for me, and that is a better use of your time and my time, okay? So I get a lot of people that call me up and they want an attorney, or they want a painter, or they want a designer, or they want a contractor. I've got all that stuff. You want somebody to just get rid of all your junk and declutter and clean up a mess that maybe you inherited, or you've just your parents passed away. This happens a lot, and become hoarders. It really is a sad, sad situation when you see 40 years of accumulation and they've got 6 coffee machines. Why? Because they forgot they had one. They go out and buy another one, and they go out and buy another one. It really is sad, but you see it a lot. I've seen some things, JJ. I have seen some things.
I bet.
No, I'm telling you. I'll send you some pictures. They are not pretty, and it's just where they're at. And that's my business. I come in, I say, hey, I love you where you're at. Where can I help? And you see some of these people going, oh my God, I don't know where to start, because it's a snowball effect. But if you want help or anywhere you're at, somebody contacted me about a mobile home, and she's having issues with her HOA, and she wants to sell it. And I just try to, I listen to the whole story, and I say, okay, these are 2 things, right? And a lot of people want to tell you more stories and more stories. Stop. I'm going to make it easy on you. You need an attorney, or you need me to sell it. Everything else is just a bunch of stories, but that's what she needed, because she literally was crying on our appointment. She didn't know what to do. She inherited her parents' mobile home, and she is frozen. And it's sad. But that's what I do. I come in and I help people just figure it out. Figure it out. Put a plan together to buy, put a plan together to sell, getting out of Dodge, selling in California, and buying in another state. I can help you depending on where you're going. I've got agents all over the country. So that's my spiel. I sell real estate, guys. That's what I do for a living. I need you guys to call me. It really breaks my heart, and I hear this all the time. Gil, I love your show. I listen to you all the time. And I signed this contract with this guy that I don't know. I go, why would you do that? Why would you do that, right? Salespeople are out there. Real estate people are salespeople. They are making you sign something that you don't necessarily know what you're doing. And a lot of times, and I've talked to a lot of people, say, hey, can I see a copy of the contract? They go, they didn't give me one. Well, anytime you sign any contract, you need to get a copy of it, okay? But I don't want to be that guy who's helping you get a lawyer. You don't want a lawyer. I don't want to get into a big mess. Sometimes I just say, you got to call an attorney. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Okay, but before you make that mistake, call me and reach out to me, and let's get together and see where I can help you the most. But when we're talking about loans, I can refer you. I can refer you on anywhere and whatever you need. So go to my website. You can see a bunch of information. You can also get pre-qualified. Click on there right there. And you start getting connected with Iman, and you can get pre-qualified to find out if you qualify for a loan. What's your home worth? That's an important question. I'm going to do a detailed study of what your home would sell for. That FHA program that I talk about, if you have an FHA or a VA loan out there and you're thinking about selling, please contact me. I will make you more money than your average agent. They do not know how that works. So if you are an owner and have an FHA or a VA loan, please reach out to me and I will explain this process. It doesn't cost you anything, and it will be a very, very profitable phone call. I will literally make you more money because I can do something that nobody else can. They don't know how to do an FHA assumable. And my last show was all on FHA and VA assumables. I find it fascinating, and I keep on talking about it because nobody really knows about it. I say you can talk to 1,000 agents, and 1,000 agents will say, that isn't true. I don't know how to do it. They're going to take the path of least resistance, and they are not going to be able to use that FHA assumable as a money maker for you. Okay? I know I'm bouncing all around, but we also have property management. Is the market hot? Is the market going down? You need to just sit down. We got to look at it, right? A lot of people, one of the first things I do is I ask them, I said, so what do you think your house is worth? And they're like, well, I don't know. You tell me what my house is worth, right? I said, but I need to know if your expectations are unreasonable or if your expectations are way under the market, right? And it's not a sales technique. It's like, tell me what you think it's worth so I know the answer to the question. If it's worth 1.2 and you want to sell it for 1.5, our conversation is going to be very short. I don't need the practice, right? I always say I'd rather turn you down than let you down. But there's a lot of sellers out there that think it's worth 1.5 and their home is spectacular and they don't see anything wrong with it. And I look back and I look at the house and go, I see a lot of things wrong with it, right? I've got some hillside property, Woodland Hills in Pasadena. Not everybody wants to live on a hillside, right? It's 3 different levels. You've got rains, you've got slides, mudslides, you've got all that issue. Not everybody wants that, right? Where a lot of people say, oh, but it's got a beautiful view. Yes, it does. But flat property sells more than hillside property, right? But it's got a view. Okay, we'll give you a little bit of money for the view. But hillside property isn't for everybody. And I don't know, that's it. I'm just out here just trying to save the American dream one show at a time with JJ's help. And JJ, you were always a blessing, brother. Thank you for just doing your job and being here with me and holding my hand through this, because, I sweat like Mike Tyson at a spelling bee. I don't know why I keep on saying that. I really get nervous during the show, but you make this easy for me. But
thank you. Glad to be here.
A lot of stuff going on around the world, people. This is Real Estate Radio LA, dedicated to real estate right here in Los Angeles. Please refer me to your friends, your family. That is the biggest compliment you can give me, is saying, hey, I listen to you all the time. I gave your number to my son or to my parents, and I'm going to come in and represent you, and I won't let you down. So realestateradio.la.com. That's realestateradio.la.com, or 818-632-8006. That's 818-632-8006. JJ, can you still say God bless you in this country?
Yes, we still can.
You can. Well, God bless you, everybody. God bless America. God bless our troops. And I hope your real estate has been blessed as much as mine has, and that it is full of love and peace and a bunch of equity. We'll see you guys next week.